Then this is probability of A given B, and we can apply the formula of the conditional probability, that is the probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. Now, if you look at the set A and B, then A is clearly a subset of B. So it becomes probability of A, that is y greater than A plus B, divided by probability of y greater than B. The formula for probability of y greater than A is e to the power minus lambda A. So this becomes e to the power minus lambda A plus B divided by e to the power minus lambda B, which is e to the power minus lambda A. That is the probability of y greater than A. So you note here, I am saying that the probability that starting from the point B, see, if I say y is greater than B, that is given, it means that the first occurrence has not happened till time B. So what is the probability that you have to wait for an additional time A so that the first occurrence does not occur? Then it is the same thing for all B. That means only the waiting time, that A is important, the starting point is not important. So that is why it is called the memoryless property. Okay, is this statement clear? Is the statement clear of the memoryless property? That means
Yes,
starting from any point B. Starting from any point B, the probability that we have to wait for an additional time A is the same irrespective of the starting point. Okay. Now let us look at the practical applications or the physical significance of this kind of property of the exponential distribution. Now, the way we have derived it is, the distribution has been derived as the waiting time for the first occurrence in a Poisson process. So usually in the industry, in the mechanical systems, we are actually, the system is functioning, and so at a particular time the system will fail. That means some defect may occur in the system. For example, if it's a instrument, so the instrument works till a certain time and then it will fail. For example, a tube light, a bulb, or a chip, or a computer, or a calculator, or any kind of mechanical, electrical, electronic item. It works for a certain time and then there will be a failure. So when there is a failure, we call it an event in the Poisson process. So what is the waiting time? That is exponential distribution. Of course, when we are considering about the large systems, then there will be multiple failures. So one failure, two failure, and so on. So all those things will happen. So right now I have talked about single failure or single occurrence. Okay. So if the system is a robust system, in that case, for example, usually in the manufacturing industry, you have heavy machinery. Okay, so heavy machinery is there for many in the manufacturing plants. Then if, for example, it is working for last 3 years and it has not failed, then the probability that it will work for another, say, 3 years, it remains the same as if you bought it new. So when the systems are robust, exponential distribution is used for modeling the lifetime of the distribution. Okay. So that is why in the industrial situation, the exponential distribution is one of the most widely used distributions. We also then talk about the moment generating function of the exponential distribution. So moment generating function mxy, that is expectation of e to the power ty, that is equal to e to the power ty lambda e to the power minus lambda y. So these two terms can be easily combined and you get just the answer. It is lambda by lambda minus t, if of course t is less than lambda. If t is greater than lambda, then this will become infinite integral. So this is the moment generating function of the exponential distribution. Let me just take up some example here. The time to failure So let me read the problem. The time to failure x, so x is the random variable, of light bulbs produced at two plants A and B obeys exponential distribution with means 5 and 2 months respectively. That means if it is produced by the plant A, then the lifetime of the bulb is exponential distribution and it has mean 5 months. That means lambda is equal to 1 by 5. Similarly, if it is produced at B, then the lifetime of the bulb is exponential distribution with mean 2 months. That means lambda is equal to half. So a company buys the bulbs from both the plants, but 3 times the product is taken from B compared to A. So what is the probability that a randomly selected bulb will have a life of at least 5 months? So what is the question asked? The question is, what is the probability of x greater than 5? But x greater than 5, it can be from, if it is taken from A, or it is taken from B. So we have to substitute these values here. See, what is the distribution of the life when the bulb is taken from A. See, if I consider the distribution of this, it is 1 by 5 e to the power minus x by 5 x positive if it is from A, and if it is from B, then it is 1 by 2 e to the power minus x by 2 x greater than 0. So if I apply the formula of probability y greater than A, that is e to the power minus lambda A, then probability x greater than 5 from A, it will become e to the power minus 5 by 5, that is e to the power minus 1, multiplied by probability of A. Now we have said that 3 times the bulbs are taken from B and compared to A. So the probability of A will be 1 by 4 and probability of B will be 3 by 4. So if it is taken from B, then e to the power minus lambda into 5, that is becoming e to the power minus 5 by 2 into 3 by 4. Of course, you can just do a quick calculation. It is approximately 0.1534. Is the problem and its solution clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will have some more problems later on in the assignment. I will be circulating maybe today evening, so you can see other problems there. Now let me extend this concept of the failure here, or occurrence in a Poisson process. So So in place of the first occurrence, now I am looking for the rth occurrence. Okay. So then what is the distribution of what is the distribution of YR? Again, let us look at this timeline. If I say that YR is greater than T, that means YR is somewhere here. The rth occurrence occurs after the time T. It means in the interval 0 to T, we should have less than or equal to R minus 1 occurrences. That means it is equivalent to saying probability of xt less than or equal to R minus 1. Of course, here T is a positive number here. For T negative, this will become 1. So this is nothing but sigma probability xt is equal to j is equal to 0 to R minus 1. The distribution of xt is known, that is the Poisson process distribution. So that is sigma e to the power minus lambda t to the power j by j factorial, j is equal to 0 to R minus 1. So we have derived the probability of YR greater than T. So that means I can get the cumulative distribution function. So f YR T, that is, well, it will be 0 for T less than 0, and it is 1 minus e to the power minus lambda t to the power j by j factorial, j is equal to 0 to r minus 1. So we have got the cumulative distribution function of the waiting time for the rth occurrence. Earlier I have derived for the first occurrence, that was the exponential distribution. So is this argument clear?
Yes, sir.
Now to derive the probability density function, we just need to consider the derivative of this. So the probability density function of YR is, now you note here that there are R terms, and the terms are actually product of two terms here, e to the power minus lambda t and then lambda t to the power something. So depending upon the value of j, at j is equal to 0 there is only one term, but for j is equal to 1 to r minus 1 it is product of two terms. So when you differentiate you will get two terms each. Let us look at it how it will come out. So derivative of 1 is 0, so you get minus then d by dt of e to the power minus lambda t plus lambda t e to the power minus lambda t plus lambda t square e to the power minus lambda t by 2 factorial and so on, plus lambda t to the power r minus 1 by r minus 1 factorial e to the power minus lambda t. So we have to look at the derivative of this in a systematic way. So let us look at it. The derivative of e to the power minus lambda t is minus lambda e to the power minus lambda t. Now if you look at the second term, it is lambda t into e to the power minus lambda t. So when I differentiate the first part, I will get plus lambda e to the power minus lambda t. And if I differentiate the second one, I will get minus lambda square t e to the power minus lambda t. Is that okay? Is this arrangement of the derivative okay? Then let us look at the next term. In the next term, it is lambda square t square. So if I differentiate t square, I will get 2t. So 2 will cancel out and I will get plus lambda square t e to the power minus lambda t. You can easily see I am getting a pattern here of the term. So this term cancels with this term cancels with this term, and so on. Finally, I will be left with the last term, the second part of it, because first term is always cancelling out with the second term of the previous one. So I will be left with minus lambda to the power r t to the power r minus 1 divided by r minus 1 factorial e to the power minus lambda t. This is the only term that will be left out. All other terms will get cancelled out. So I can write it as, actually this d by dt is not there because I am already differentiating. It is minus of this. So this gives me lambda to the power r t to the power r minus 1 e to the power minus lambda t 1 by r minus 1 factorial. For t positive, for t negative, of course it is 0. So we have got the probability density function of YR is and this r minus 1 factorial I can write as gamma r, lambda to the power r t to the power r minus 1 e to the power minus lambda t. So this is known as gamma or Erlang distribution. So Erlang is the name of Joseph Erlang, actually one of the physicists. As I mentioned to you that most of these distributions have been derived using certain physical phenomena. So when we are looking at certain occurrences in a process, in a Poisson process, then we are looking at the rth occurrence, then such a distribution was derived, and therefore it is known as Erlang's distribution. And popularly we call it gamma distribution because this r minus 1 factorial we have written as gamma r. And another point which you can note here, that if I am deriving it from the Poisson process, I am taking r to be a positive integer because the number of occurrence can be 1, 2, 3 and so on. But if you look at the form of the PDF, it is valid even for r any real number. Okay, r should be any positive real number. So lambda is positive and r is also positive. So because later on, what is the main use of the distributions? It is to model various kind of practical data sets. So this distribution form is valid even for any positive real number r and positive real number lambda. So is this distribution clear? The form of the distribution?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. If you look at the shape of this, you can see that e to the power minus lambda t, it will decrease exponentially, and it is multiplied by t to the power r minus 1. So as t increases, it will decrease. It may increase in the beginning little bit depending upon what is the value of r, but thereafter it will actually decrease because e to the power minus lambda t term will always dominate. So the shape of the curve will always be a positively skewed distribution. So depending upon the value of r and lambda, different kind of positively skewed shapes are possible for this distribution. It is positively skewed. We can look at the moments also, and of course for calculation of the moments you can see that the gamma function will be used here. So if I look at say mu k prime, that is expectation of y r to the power k, that is integral 0 to infinity y, or we have written t there, so t to the power k 1 by gamma r e to the power minus lambda t, t to the power r minus 1. So this you can write as lambda to the power r divided by gamma r 0 to infinity, and you will have t to the power k plus r minus 1 e to the power minus lambda t. So this is nothing but just a gamma function. So you know the value of the integral. It is simply lambda to the power r by gamma r, gamma k plus r divided by lambda to the power k plus r. So this is nothing but gamma k plus r divided by gamma r and 1 by lambda to the power k. So for the kth non-central moment is of this form. Of course, you can consider any order also, but here we are taking positive integral parts of this thing. So in particular, what is the mean? That is first one, that is simply r by lambda. Let us look at the physical interpretation of it. The expected waiting time for the first occurrence is 1 by lambda. Due to the memoryless property of the exponential distribution, every time, so if the first occurrence is there, again thereafter when we start for the occurrence in the Poisson process, it is as if starting from the beginning. So again the waiting time for the second occurrence will be 1 by lambda. So 1 by lambda plus 1 by lambda, it becomes 2 by lambda. So therefore for the rth occurrence, it becomes r by lambda. It is simply an additive process here. We can look at other moments also. So mu2 prime is r into r plus 1 by lambda square. And so you will have mu2, that is the variance, that will become r by lambda square. Note here what was the variance for the exponential distribution? It was 1 by lambda square. So the variability in the waiting time for the first occurrence, that is 1 by lambda square. For rth one, it is r by lambda square. So it is again additive here. Let us take just some small exercise here. So let me read out the problem. So whenever the jobs are moved to a system, so the CPU time, how much CPU time it takes, that has been modeled as a gamma random variable. And that gamma random variable x is found to have mean 40 seconds and standard deviation 20 seconds. And any job less than 20 seconds is called a short job. So what is the probability that out of 5 randomly selected jobs, at least 2 are short jobs? So is the problem statement understandable? Can you follow the problem statement?
Yes, sir.
So here r by lambda, that is the mean, is 40. and r by lambda square, that is the variance, that is 400. That is given. So from here you can calculate the value of r and lambda. So r is equal to, of course, I mean it's very simple to calculate this. R is equal to 4 and lambda is equal to 1 by 10. So what is the probability of a short job? That is probability of YR, that is here basically Y4 less than 20. That is a short job. Okay. It is easy because one side you have infinity. So if you put 1 minus that, it is easier to calculate that. So first of all, what is the probability density that you have to integrate here? What is the probability density of? It is lambda to the power r, that is 1 by 10 to the power 4, 1 by gamma r, that is 1 by gamma 4, e to the power minus lambda t, t to the power 4 minus 1, that is 3. So that is the probability density function of this. So this probability then we can consider 1 minus probability of y4 greater than or equal to 20. So that is 1 minus integral 20 to infinity 1 by 10 to the power 4, 1 by gamma 4. Gamma 4 is 3 factorial, that is 6. So 1 by 6 e to the power minus t by 10 t cube dt. To simplify the matters, actually we can put a substitution here. If I put say t by 10 as say y, that is 1 by 10 dt is equal to dy. If I use this substitution, then it becomes slightly simpler. 2 to infinity, and you will get 1 by 6 e to the power minus y cube dy. So this is a very simple integral. I mean, you can just do integration by parts. I am writing down the final expression. You can check it. Okay. Which is approximately 0.1429. So approximately you can say that 14% jobs are short jobs. Okay. Is this calculation clear? Could you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now the second part of this question, that out of 5 randomly selected jobs, what is the probability that at least 2 are short jobs? Okay. So I define another random variable, let us call it say Z. Okay. Number of short jobs out of 5. Okay. So every job can be short job or not a short job. So it's a success failure experiment. So Z is then binomial 5, and the probability of the short job is, that is P is 0.1429. Okay. So we are asking what is the probability of Z greater than or equal to 2. So that is sigma, well, 5C K P to the power K, that is 0.1429 to the power K, and 1 minus this, that is 1 minus 0.1429 to the power 5 minus K, K equal to 2 to 5. Once again, to simplify, we can take the complementary event. We can consider Z is equal to 0 and Z is equal to 1, which is easy to calculate. So that is 1 minus 0.1429 to the power 5 minus 5 into 1 minus 0.1429 to the power 4 into 0.1429. So this is approximately 0.1519. So can you follow this calculation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the moment generating function of gamma distribution? I made notational mistakes here. So there is nothing great about the calculation. You just merge this term with this one. So it becomes 1 by gamma r lambda to the power r y to the power r minus 1 e to the power minus lambda minus t y dy. So it is again just the same type of gamma function, and the value is immediately coming out to be, because gamma r will cancel out, so you will get lambda divided by lambda minus t to the power r. So this is the moment generating function of the gamma distribution. So as you can understand, the exponential distribution and the gamma distribution are useful for describing lives of the system. So life of the components, life of the machinery, life of a bulb, life of any equipment, and so on. So whenever we are looking at this industrial thing, in the industry, basically we look at the running of the system. So how long the systems are functioning successfully. So airplane engine, a train engine, a motor, or a rotor, or a wing, or a axle, or a wheel. So in any heavy machinery, you will have all such kind of things. And so everywhere we have to model the life of the system. So exponential distribution, the gamma distribution, these are quite useful for modeling the lifetimes of the distributions. However, this is not all. You can have other lifetime distributions also. So one of the other prominent lifetime distribution is again a similar type of form is there, albeit a little bit more flexibility of the parameters. So a continuous random variable x is said to have a Weibull distribution with parameters alpha and beta. If it has the probability density function given by alpha beta x to the power beta minus 1 e to the power minus alpha x to the power beta. And Weibull is the name of the person against whom this name is, this distribution is named. He was actually a civil engineer, and way back in 1951, he proposed, he was modeling some civil engineering data, and there he has proposed this distribution. However, for a long time it was not popular, people did not know about it, but later on it was found to have certain nice property, and because of that property it became popular, and now it is one of the more prominently used distributions for describing the lifetimes of the systems. You can easily see that, see, how will you integrate? If you look at this term, the derivative of e to the power minus alpha x to the power beta, actually that will give me alpha beta x to the power beta minus 1 with a, of course, minus sign. So it suggests immediately that the form of the distribution is from, see, in the exponential distribution, the form of the CDF was 1 minus e to the power minus lambda y. So that y has, we have raised it to the power something. What does it mean if you raise it to the power? It means that we are controlling the slope, whether it will decrease faster or it will decrease slower, because depending upon the value of beta, whether beta is greater than 1 or beta is less than 1. Is it okay? Can you understand this distribution?
Yes, sir.
Of course, it is slightly complicated to calculate the moments, because now in place of x there is x to the power beta, so substitution becomes a little bit complicated, and you get a little bit of complex expressions. But of course, nowadays with the computational facilities, because you have just the functions here, gamma functions can be easily evaluated. So you have alpha beta x to the power beta plus k minus 1 e to the power minus alpha x to the power beta dx, 0 to infinity. So you put y is equal to, say, x to the power beta, and of course dy is equal to beta x to the power beta minus 1. So with this substitution, this is 0 to infinity alpha, and then y to the power k by beta e to the power minus alpha y dy. Again, it is in the form of a gamma function, so the value is easily evaluated. It is given by gamma k plus beta by beta divided by alpha to the power k by beta. So in particular, if I want to calculate, say, mu1 prime, that is the mean, it will become alpha to the power minus 1 by beta gamma beta plus 1 by beta. And similarly, if we calculate the variance, second moment, it will become alpha to the power minus 2 by beta, and so on. So I just leave it here, okay? You can write it yourself. So are these calculations clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the next thing is that I would like to discuss that why this lifetime is important and in what way? So when we are looking at the life of a component, a machinery, a system or organism, etc., if it is not working, if the system is not working, then it is of no use. For example, you visit a lab and in the lab you find that out of there are 20 systems there, out of that say 12 are not working. So you will not bother about those 12 systems. You will look at only those 8 which are working. Okay, so suppose you are head of that lab, then your interest is to see that these 8 systems, how long they will continue to function. You are interested in that. Of course, for the ones which are not working, you will look at the repair facility and other kind of things. But the main interest would be that if the system is functioning, how long it will be functioning, isn't it? So that makes this the method of calculation that I have given for exponential distribution, gamma distribution, etc. What did we look at? We looked at probability y greater than a time t. That means at time t the system is functioning. If I say y is greater than t, that means at time t the system has not failed or the system is working at time t. Okay. So this particular quantity which we actually considered in the context of exponential distribution, gamma distribution, and also of course for the Weibull distribution also, this is called, so let x denote the life of a system, okay, component, etc., etc., equipment, whatever you call it. It could be organism also. Then we define RT, that is the probability of x greater than t, as the reliability of the system at time t. That is probability that the system is working at time t. That means the system is in working condition at time t. It is functioning. Okay. So this is actually one of the most important, you can say, parameters for the engineers or for the manufacturers, for the owners of the companies and so on. That means at a given point of time, what is the probability that the system is functioning? Okay. And this is called the reliability of the system. So that is why the term is so important that you have a separate department of reliability engineering in IIT Kharagpur, and of course not only in IIT Kharagpur but in so many of the universities in Europe and America. You have the departments of the system reliability, the industrial reliability centers for such studies are there. So reliability is one of the most important parameters when the engineers or the scientists, they are working on their systems. Based on this, we can define some more quantity. Probably I think I have exhausted my time. I will be defining some further things in the next class maybe. Okay, so I will stop today's class at this point.
Thank you, sir.